Yeah, beauty. Look at that, everyone. Hey, look at this. What's going on, you Dead Set Legends? And welcome to the Ready Bang, the number one arm wrestling show on the planet. I'm your host, the Aussie Arm Wrestler. And of course, I am your 2019 Melbourne Cup left arm, 80 to 95 at kilo, third place amateur, most sought after trophy on the planet. But more importantly, my man has come back to join the show to tell everyone how easy it is to beat up on Irakli Zirakakshvili.
Hi, everybody.
Your 95 kilo world champion. There's no one better, ladies and gentlemen. It's Toddzilla, Todd Hutchings. Mate, how you feeling?
I feel pretty good. It's been a couple weeks now, so I always drop down for about 2 weeks or so after a competition. I'm not sure what goes on, but I get little aches and pains, and I'm not motivated and stuff. But it's all bouncing back now.
So is that your range 2-3 weeks, and then back into training and
immediately? But I can't go through the whole workouts. I seem to need to sleep a whole lot more. I lose my appetite. There's no motivation for about a good 2 to 3 weeks after a competition, and then it just bounces back. So,
well, that makes sense, and you're probably sick of winning in the 95 kilo division. So
the winning.
Just quickly, everyone is very excited that you are here having a quick chat about anything and everything, including Richard, Genix, Martin, MG Blast. This guy really wants to let you know that the county fair here. Please let Todd know.
Oh, county! I train with county fair every Tuesday.
Oh, okay. I thought he was just like at a county fair and okay.
Yeah, he's one of my Tuesday training partners.
Jeremy Shelton gets it right. He goes, who'd win an arm wrestling match? Toddzilla or God? Trick question. Toddzilla is God. And Andy's saying hi to everyone, including Bob. Mate, how was Switzerland? Looked amazing.
Yeah, it's we're in Zurich, so that's a big city. But it's interesting because I don't know my history that well, but it's thousands of years old, right? That whole part of Europe was not under the current government, but there's been people living there for thousands of years, and their buildings are very ornate and structured. It's and super polite people. It was really nice being there. Expensive, the most expensive place I've ever been. It was mind-boggling expensive, but everybody was nice. Everybody was polite. For the most part, everybody under 30 spoke English, so we didn't have trouble getting around.
Really?
Yeah, we rode the train. It was like a 30 or 40-minute train ride from where we were to the heart. Not the heart, but the big center of Zurich, where the river and the ocean are and stuff. And nobody took our ticket. I get on the train, we ride there, nobody takes my ticket. I get on the train, I ride back. I could have rode for free. Nobody even checked.
Wow. Bloody hell. And did you get a chance to see any of the mountains or anything there, or?
We went down. Now we're horrible tourists, and we went Sunday, so it was the day after the event. And to be honest, even that day, I don't really feel like doing much, but we felt obligated. Yeah. And we're wearing our hoodies, and we're walking around Zurich for about 2 or 3 hours in there, just getting soaking wet and cold. And then I think we went to Subway and went back to the hotel.
Is it becoming, and I mean this in a positive way, because you've been anywhere and everywhere when it comes to arm wrestling, but because now, we've been saying it for a couple of years, you're being treated like proper athletes, proper superstars. So that means signing posters, signing training cards, meet and greets and things like that. Is that starting to become mentally exhausting, or do you prepare for that and ensure, right, if I'm going to be sitting here signing a heap?
That stuff's not too bad. All of that's just part of the game. The one thing that's hard to get used to is they kind of compact it. Friday's really, really busy. They have us do a whole bunch of things on Friday. But the one thing that's mentally exhausting is, so let's say my next match is, what are we in, November? So let's say my next match is mid-December. Right about now, we would have a podcast between me and my opponent. And we're expected to be at odds, right? We're supposed to snipe back and forth. And then we're supposed to post training videos talking shit to each other. Then we get to the event, and then there's a pre-event interview. And again, we're supposed to back and forth to each other. Somewhere in there, we have like a dinner with the guests. And now we're all supposed to be one big happy family. So this guy I'm talking shit to for 2 months, I'm now best friends with him. And then we go to the press conference and we're supposed to snipe back and and they have we got to do a weigh-in, we got to do press conferences, the interview, then there's things to do with the guests, then of course the event. But one thing that they don't do, which is really missing, is there's no, like, after the event, the organization doesn't have like some reception or something, which is where, as soon as the event's over, now we truly are friends. Now everybody, the tension's down. And to be honest, I think they're kind of missing that, because I think that's where the VIP guests, the spectators and stuff would really like to hang, because that's where now I feel comfortable talking to the other arm wrestlers and stuff. But up until that time, to be honest, every time I'm in the group of arm wrestlers, they're all potential opponents. Everybody my size or bigger, I could conceivably have to compete against at some point. So I'm not super friendly with them. And even the guys in weight classes below me see me as a potential opponent someday. So there's that kind of awkwardness, But once the event's over, there's like 2 or 3 hours where we all are truly friends and stuff, So it's weird on an emotional scale. So for the most part, I just stay in my hotel room and hook my phone up to the TV with cables I bring, and I just watch American.
Do you think that's because we're so enthralled with after pulling, and that's what everyone wants to see? So there is no post production event.
But they could have the after pulling. That could be like, they could say, okay, when the event's over, we're going to put all the tables in this room. The VIP guests are there. They could tell us competitors, look, we need you to hang out for 2 hours. None of that. All of that after pulling and the after party and stuff is all like unscripted, spontaneous. And there's more than one. There's like different groups of athletes are in different areas. So it's not one big reset. Like at the wedding, everything in a wedding is boring as hell until the reception is missing. They could probably sell additional tickets to the after event reception. The VIPs could go free, but they could probably, everybody who just bought a ticket to the event, it would be like getting a backstage pass, when you go see.
Oh yeah.
Or the Foo Fighters play, right? I mean, you buy your ticket, but people would pay extra for a backstage pass.
Yeah, especially afterwards if there was a really close event. Like, that I think that's a great example, because like if Vitali spoke really good English, everyone would buy that extra ticket. Hey mate, why'd you pick Levan? Like, why aren't you going with Devin and maybe get his explanation? So I know, something about a post. I think because, and I'm only guessing, I think because the event goes for so long, it's a bit like, all right, guys, thank you so much. We've just had a 4.5 hour, 5-hour event. Thanks, everyone. Go enjoy, have a drink, get some sleep or whatever.
folks because those folks all work. But to be honest, by the end of Friday, we had weigh-ins. I think we've had a dinner, we've had photos, we've had all this other stuff. Plus, we've had the event. I mean, Friday's packed. You know what? We've already consumed 18 hours of your day. The next 2, we're going to give you, we're going to give you some cheese, some crackers, and a couple of beers. I don't.
Would you?
Stretching it.
What's the your favorite thing pre-match, pre-event and things like that? What's your favorite thing, and what's the thing you just like? Yeah, all right, Rob. Yeah, I'm coming. I'll do it.
My least favorite thing of everything is the press conference. The press conference is for those of us who have to cut weight. I'm slamming water, I'm slamming food all day long. Now I got to go to this press conference, which goes so long, because it's every single. I mean, they don't run a press conference with like 2 or 3 people at a time. I got to sit there while they go through every match, and I'm trying to gain my weight back, and it's late. I go to bed around 7:30, 8 o'clock. That press conference goes till after 10, 11 o'clock at night in that country. So then you leave, no restaurants are open. You can't eat. I've got food in my hotel room, but even then, the press conference to me is grueling because once again, we're barking at each other, and it's the same questions I've already answered 2 or 3 times, right? Yeah. The press conference might be funner if they did it like a town hall or something, where they just put a microphone up in the audience and they just let the audience line up and ask questions, and then they could run us through it 4 at a time, right? The press conference could be just as long, but they could bring out the top 2 matches. The audience could ask them questions. When the audience stopped asking questions, they bring the rest of us out in groups of 4. That way, I don't have to sit on camera the whole time. The audience members get to interact with the matches they want, and if nobody wants to interact with it, those people get cut free. I mean, that might be a more interesting way to doing it. But I've never run a league, so I don't know. But that would definitely be what I would approve of.
Yeah, we could sit here and say this will work and that will work, but until we've organised it ourselves. Noah, I'll get to your question in a moment. Todd and I are just working out how to save the press conference. For me, I would it's hard because you're the champ, so everyone kind of wants to hear from you. But I think especially I love that they respect all the athletes. So here's your time to shine. I think they should go right. Hey guys, who wants to do the press conference? And just say you're not the champ, and you and Irakli go, nah, don't want to do it. Okay, great. You guys can sit out. We'll get 5 minutes each from you over here, and we'll chuck it on social media. And then the press conference itself. I'm not the biggest fan of giving the fans all the power, because suddenly it's like, okay, Toddzilla, we've got Jake here. Jake asks a question. Hi Todd. Who would win out of Levan and a gorilla? What do you think? It's like, no, we got to kind of focus on the event and sell tickets. It's very interesting.
We have all the championship matches should be covered, and then you could pick 1 or 2 of the if there's a newcomer, an up and coming person, or something like that. But when you've got 16 people up there and you're going to give all 16 people time, then you've got special guys. To me, it just gets so long,
Yeah.
Unless they're making all kinds of money with people watching it. The other thing I would do is I would put the press conference on Thursday. Then you could edit the highlights out, rebroadcast them on Friday. So then you get to, you get twice the use out of if something great happens at the press conference, some people saw it live, you can then repackage it and put it out again on Friday to hype the event, which is Saturday.
Yeah, totally get it. Yeah, I mean, we could go on for a bit here, but Noah Burton, this bloke's from the UK. He's a buddy.
He's messaging me quite a bit now.
Oh yeah, handsome man, strong as an ox, this bloke. But he asks, Todd, has he ever felt a hook that would say was above his? Hook for hook. Biggest fan. Noah's a good dude.
Dadikin's probably better than me. Dennis and Blinkoff was definitely better than mine. You know, up until last year or up until this year, Rustum's was always better than mine. So I felt lots of hooks better than mine.
Wow, there you go. Thank you very much, Noah. You dead set legend. Thank you all very much. Thank you for that, mate. I hope you're doing well, Noah. I hope you're killing it over there in the UK. CBLA says, press conferences are getting better, but I understand Todd's side of it, and press should only be the main card. But it's not broken down prelim to main yet. Yeah, totally get it. We'll get there. We'll somehow nail it. Well, it's because sometimes I watch it and I'm a bit like, and I think because I understand both sides of the press conference, but if you've watched every bit of content up until the press conference, well, there's nothing new unless you get to punch the shit out of each other. So I get why.
Face off on top of it, you know, it's like I've been interacting with this guy for months, and now friends again. You know?
Well, let's get to the match itself. So you've done all this interaction with Irakli, and you know it's probably good he doesn't speak English, so you can just have a.
It's a lot easier pulling somebody who does not speak English. You know?
Did he feel any different from the first two times you beat him?
He hooked. He was in it more. I think he's capable of beating me. I mean, I'm sure he is. I think it's just that I thought there was a lot of pressure on me for this match. I think he might have felt there was a lot more pressure on him. But the biggest difference was, since this is our third time, I was far more comfortable pulling him, right? Even though he changed a few things, it still kind of fell in the window that I was expecting. I don't think he was that comfortable with me. You know, I think he just felt awkward and stuff with me. I think he felt awkward, you know. So, you know, a year go differently, I'm sure.
When you first gripped up with him, was it just like, oh, here we go? Like I've got you now, son. Like you haven't changed too much.
Not the very first round when we didn't slip. I went back and I said that hand's going to give me problems. All right, hand is going to give me some fits. But then when I finally won the second round and going into when I won the first round and went into the second round, I told Susie, I go, you know, his hand's giving me trouble, but I feel pretty good. I would much, you know, I mean, my confidence went way up, and I was afraid. I mean, I was worried that he was going to do something completely unorthodox, and I didn't know what to expect. But when we did get inside, either round one or round two, and we got deep wrist to wrist, I go, okay. So as long as I can keep him out of this press, I have an answer for his top roll, and I don't think he's going to come inside anymore. So, you know, when you walk into a match, you're worried about him doing this many things. As you start shutting down lanes, you go, okay, this is the one thing I have to protect against. You know?
Yeah. Oh, mate, it was an incredible effort. And was there a stage afterwards when you're all laughing and having a joke and whatnot? Was there just a stage where Irakli kind of just went, I just can't beat you, Todd? You know.
Oh, he don't push, but and we did have an after. Evidently, I was quite the fool at the after party. I didn't realize it, but the videos are just now coming out. But you did. I go, Don't remember. From what I know, I think we're pretty good friends. And when this is what's weird with me and my opponents. Sometimes when I pull somebody, we stop talking completely and we hate each other. Or we become really best of friends, and all of a sudden now I got a pen pal and I got to buy extra Christmas cards. There's no middle to swing one way or another. I think Irakli is now on my Christmas card list. So I think we're buddies now, even though we don't speak English. So he don't speak English.
Yeah, that's no, it's incredible. I mean, look, he tried. I think the best thing for Irakli right now would just to be to make a post or whatever, or a video, and just say, Todd's the man. Don't be screenshotting elbow fouls or anything like that. Just say, Todd's my kryptonite. He's the man. He's too bloody strong.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how he's now got. If he watches these videos, I think he'll figure out how to beat me.
Yeah.
You know, partners all figure out how to beat me. So Irakli's smart enough. He'll figure it out.
So then going back, because at the previous East versus West, you had a match with Dave Chaffee. What did that power feel like? He was at 115 kilos. Is that at a stage where you're like, okay, that's too big of a jump?
No, I mean, I want to give, with all due respect to Dave, I've been pulling him for 10 years, and I thought I was going to win that. That was a awful short notice to pull that event, because to be honest, I thought East versus West had collapsed and was going away. And this was like I thought that was going to be my last professional arm wrestling match. I thought the league was disintegrating. If I had a rematch with Dave now, the odds of him winning wouldn't have changed. But I know what I would do to prepare and pull him differently. He actually did come into the match completely different than what I had experienced before. He was a little crisper. He was hitting. He used to kind of catch me, swallow my hand, and do this kind of very low side pressure, slow motion power thing. I'm not used to him, being crisp and popping top rolls and stuff, and his my hand's better, and I thought it was good enough, and it wasn't. So, but Dave at this weight, I don't think he lost any strength. I think
wow.
Was, and now he's faster. I mean, it's like, holy shit, that guy's deadly. When they said he's pulling Ibrahim, I go, oh, Dave's got that. I was surprised Dave lost a round. I go, Dave's gonna go through Sagoff with no trouble.
Wow.
Dave is quite a bit above that class. I mean, I really do. I don't know anybody in the 115 class, unless Devin comes down to it, that's really going to give Dave trouble.
Wow. Because I was very confident Dave would win, but to say that he didn't lose probably any strength, and he's an absolute beast at super heavyweight.
Power was there, but now he actually felt quicker. Like his power doesn't come up slowly; it jumps. I mean, his explosiveness is greatly improved. And you never think of Dave as being a fast, explosive puller. He's usually catching people and dragging them back. He had his timing was down. His timing was so good because I know I was leaving early and he was leaving before me.
Wow, and that's an interesting take, especially because you've seen the comment you mentioned earlier. You've seen promotions start, you've seen promotions fail. So, I know it was scrambling, and we're not going to get into all the drama and everything, but it was just an interesting take that you thought maybe that Shaw event was like that. All right, there's another one gone.
Signing petitions. We had people signing their own leagues. We had, everybody was acting like children. I mean, I was expecting our successful businessman to go, you know what? I can make money a million different ways and not have to deal with you fools.
Oh, shout out to Baxter to keep going on there. So now what happens? Do you just because I know you're not one to pick opponents. You're just like you answer the phone. Who is it, Robbie B? Beautiful, thanks, buddy. Yeah, what date? I'm there. But now is it like, are you tempted to be a double champ at the 105s and have a look at Petrenko?
That's the matches. I hear different things, from different people. Then when I heard there was a group of people setting matches. When I ask those people directly, they go, "No, we input it. It's not real clear." I'm sure I will. Well, Oleg Petrenko had messaged me privately, and he said that he asked my interest in pulling him. And I said, I don't pull the match, but if they ask, I'll agree to pull Oleg. And Oleg's somebody I could pull at either weight class, 95 or 105. So I'm sure that's in the cards. I'm sure I will eventually end up pulling Nugo and Bacho Saganashvili. So I'm sure in my future those three opponents, and then after that, who knows? Maybe Rustam comes back. I don't, but three opponents. I only pull 4 times a year, so 3 opponents. That's pretty much all of next year's card for me.
Yeah. Do you have interest going for the 105 title, or would you rather Oleg come down to the 95 and challenge you for your title?
I think I would like to pull him at both weight classes. Just to see. It's the same 2 people, but maybe one of us gains weight better, or maybe it would be interesting. It might turn out that there's really no difference between those weight classes, and maybe they could just combine them into the 100-kilogram class.
Oh, mate, that's yeah. I mean, I think in all due respect, I don't think Nugo's a match. I think you obliterate Nugo. I think that's and Bacho as well in the same breath. But we're just at that stage, Todd, at the 95 kilos. It's like, who do we give you? Everybody in the chat, who does Todd have at 95 kilos? Are you, mate, at this stage in your career, sometimes you line up at a golfing range and you just hit it sweetly off the tee or something like that. Do you still surprise yourself at this time? You're like, wow, like the way I started round 3 against Irakli, that was just the sweet spot, at your age and at your stage in your career.
I am yes, not so much. Yeah, because my hand is getting better. I haven't been in one of these matches in a long time. So, here's what surprised me. It's not me, but Mindaugas, Taracides. So me and Coach Ray, I love Coach Ray. Me and Coach Ray spend a lot of time together at these events, just joking around and stuff. He said he interviewed Mindaugas and was asking him to rate various top rollers. Mindaugas rated me like number 1 or number 2 as a top roller. So that's surprising.
There you go. It's it's just fascinating that at your stage, and your hands getting better, man. It is ridiculous. Do you get to a stage? People are now talking that you'd give the 115 kilo, 115 kilo class a bit of a go. Is there a point where you just sit there and you're like, why not? Yep, okay. Let's have a crack at the top 5.
Called me up and said, "Look, you're next. We want you in the 115 class at the next." I go, "Sure." I don't. None of that matters to me. It's all about excellence, not victory. So I'm not. Nobody's undefeated except one person. So losses don't really bother me. I don't mind pulling the other weight classes.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we all secretly want to be super heavyweight champ anyways. Even if we don't admit it, we'd all secretly really, really love to be. If we can't be the champ, we all want to be in the top 10 super heavyweights, no matter what we weigh. So.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think who is number 10, and if you could roll them like a Georgi Zarenov or something like that, man.
When I went to do Vitali's Lalayton's stats video, I think he was ranked. I don't know who does the rankings. I don't think it was East First West, but I went to a couple of. There's an Instagram site, and there was a not Facebook. There's a couple of different sites. I think Reddit was one, and there was another one that all ranked and then Engen did one. Ranked the super heavyweights, and Vitali was like somewhere between 8 and 10 on all three.
Yeah.
And I think he's like a legit top 3 guy right now. I mean, in the last year, Vitali's really improved.
Yeah, and guys in the chat, we'll get to your questions in just a moment. We're here with one and only world champion Toddzilla. Before that match with Jerry, I had him just based off wins or losses. I had him in that 8 to 10 area because Levan beat Devin beat Erdemes beat Jerry's beaten Gennady, Michael Todd's beaten Gennady, and that's how. And then suddenly I'm like, well, Vitali hasn't really beaten anyone, but now he's number 4 in the world for me because Erdemes has beaten Vitali, and so
Vitali gave Hermes fits. That was a close match. That match might be different in another 6 months, but beating Michael Todd, not as good as Hermes beat Michael Todd, but he still beat him intelligently. And then what he did with Jerry, and Michael Todd and Jerry, I think, were in the 4, 5, or 6 range on the rankings I saw. So yeah, I think Vitali pulling Devin's a good match, but somebody like Devin, you sometimes have to pull him 3 or 4 times to figure out what works. It would be hard to come out of the box and beat Devin your first time, because you really don't know what to expect. Just how good Devin's hand is and how good his work capacity and his endurance. It's really hard to convey that unless you felt it. But yeah, I think Vitali's like a legit. I mean, he's probably in the neighborhood of Devin and Hermes. I don't know what order could probably change, but Vitali's definitely 5 rankings better than he was a year ago.
Yeah. So if I give you $50 right now, Todd, we heard that Devin and Vitali's been booked for April. Who wins?
I think Devin wins, but I'm not saying Hermes doesn't have a chance. I just you just got to bet on Devin's beat a lot of people. I mean, Devin's beat everybody but one person. So I'm not going to go against that just because some guy's really, really improving. But I think Devin wins. It could even still be a shutout, but Hermes is going to do a lot better against Devin this year than he would have done a year ago.
Vitali.
A year ago, I think Devin would have just shut him down. Just bam, bam, just played with him. I think Devin's going to take Vitali serious, and actually prepare for him.
Wow. There you go. You've heard it from the one and only. The one and only. Right, let's get into a couple of things from the chat. They're very excited. Victor thinks that you'd be really good at the 115 class. Gives a problem. Noah's pumped. He says Mr. Todd beats everyone at 95 and 105. We'll need to go to 115 to get challenged. Todd is incredible. Len has jumped in and said Oleg is the only one I can think of at 95 to give you a chance. What's your secret power at 60?
I just work harder than everybody else.
It's not, don't overcomplicate it.
Control, so.
Did you...
harder than everybody, so.
Yeah, it is brilliant. Did you try any Swiss beer?
I tried every beer somebody handed to me. We had a press conference, and then I had whatever people were handing me afterwards after the event.
Brilliant.
Big thick green had one of those ceramic tops on it with the metal lever thing, like what they used to do in like the 1800s. It was pretty cool.
Oh, nice one. Nice one. And my friends up and about from Norway, Beata and Ricard, they're having a bit of fun. How did, while everyone's just up and about, that you are here, quickly say hi. One, my favourite Aussie arm wrestler superstar. Thank you very much, Lucky. You are a superstar. You are a superstar. Thank you, Lucky. Just quickly go through the question on everyone's mind. Would you pull him a fourth time?
I've never refused an opponent, so if East First West says that's what we got to do, then that's what we'll do.
It is brilliant. Well, you did, just quickly staying on Vitali before we get back to your future. How did he feel? You had a bit of a muck around with him afterwards. Like, do you grip up with someone like that and go, oh my God, the hand or the wrist or whatever just feels good?
The hand, no, nothing feels good. About when I went out and was spent some time with Brian Shaw, we broke down everybody, the top 10 super heavyweights, and this was, and this is based on my perspective. Of course, the way I would evaluate him would be different than Brian because he's taller and bigger hand than me. And what I told him, because we broke down a strategy for each of them, but I can tell the difference in Vitali's hand since from a year or so ago. Because I really like him. He always poses for pictures with Susie. We joke around a lot. I can tell just gripping up and messing around with him that he's like thicker here. And I don't know how Europeans do it, but their hands are like rock hard. You grab it and there's like no give in any part of their hand. Vitali's hand wasn't like that 4 or 5 East First West events ago, but it's like that now. So whatever their signature training is over there, he's transformed himself, and he feels a lot more comfortable, now that he's breaking into the upper ranks. So, and
right.
Young enough, as long as he doesn't get injured, he'll be there for a while.
I mean, he's got to take on Levan in February, so I think everyone gets injured when you pull him. Do you guys all secretly sit and have a laugh? Because, if you ask the Europeans, the WAL was a clown show and, it was the gunslingers, the old spaghetti western with you guys, but yet all of you guys are still the best in the world. You're at 95, Dave's at 115, Devon's at number 2, Michael's top 5, and top 5, top 6, shaking and baking there. And do you sit there and all just, before John was injured, John was taking names,
Right.
were you all just sitting there and just having a bit of a giggle that, okay, you can all do what you want. You might hate the WAL, but we're still the guys.
Don't forget Jerry was up there too, and Jerry was in the top. Yeah. No, I've never really discussed the WAL or any of that with the European. But to be honest, I don't. I like lock myself in the hotel room. I don't interact with a lot of these people a lot. Where Devin's in the lobby. He's loud and he's taking up space the whole event. You can't at one of these East First West events. You don't get too far away from Devin's shadow. And there's a few of the other folks who just really love that, like to be in the mix of it. Me and Susie walk in, we pull our hoods down, and we show. The WAL was, at the time, it was the best league I'd ever been in.
Yeah.
I didn't have it was weird that was called World Arm Wrestling. It was really North America and Australia. But I think they were we had Krasimir was in it. and Giannis came. So there was we had a few big name people, but yeah, it wasn't set out to be like the end all be all, who's the true arm wrestling champion. It was developed to be a show for American audiences.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure where in that business model it didn't. Well, my suspicion is all these leagues need like event planners, media geniuses, and they hire arm wrestlers to do this, right? I think you stop hiring arm wrestlers to do your media promotions if their experience is in arm wrestling and not media promotions.
Yeah.
Who can sell, CrossFit, golf, and horse riding. That's somebody who can make you a show.
Yeah.
I'm your accountant because I'm an arm wrestler, I'm probably not qualified to be your accountant.
Yeah.
Accounting isn't a lot different than anything else.
And that's why we get paid. Yeah, not as much anymore. You're in the thick of it, and I'm not asking you to break down the fourth wall or anything. You're in there. Yeah, you 3 or 4 times a year. You're at these events. Do we think we're really close to hitting mainstream? And it's not like, and if we're not, it's not a knock on. I'm really enjoying what Robert's trying to do with East versus West since the whole drama and everything.
I think, and I'm not into the thick of it as much as you want, but I do talk, as I've known Robert. Me and Robert have been good friends for 15 years now. Okay, so we kind of talk back and forth, and when he's talking shop about, I got to do this, I got to do this. I know I have these people are bootlegging or pirating. We already got them figured out, but in order to do that, but in order to move on to here, we got to do this. That is a man with a business plan who understands what he's doing. All these other events, they kept saying like the same thing. We got to get more in depth with the athletes. We got to have these stories. We got, and it's like, yeah, I've heard that at every, this is probably my 9th or 10th league. But now I'm hearing talk about market share, promotional views. You got to have this quality. It's not. This is my interpretation, but you're not going to go to like ESPN or Netflix or Spotify and say, "Hey, I got a concept for an arm wrestling show. Work with me, and we'll develop it." I think you got to have, "Hey, I have a standalone sports show. All you have to do is buy it. It's already set up and running. You don't develop it at all." So, I don't know how close we are. I know he's running more events than I thought was possible. I could probably pull, if I didn't have a job, I could probably pull 9-10 times a year.
Wow.
Problem is they're always in these foreign countries. It takes the better part of a week for me to pull an event, just because it's 2 days of travel. So I don't have that much vacation time. And then at the end of every quarter and at the end of the year, the business says, Hutchings, it's fine what you're doing, but we kind of need you here. Our water pumps, if you're not building them, are closing out the year. So.
Nah, that's awesome, man. That's so that's awesome to hear. That Robert's got a really, really good plan. Gets me very excited because I'm the same as you. I get the phone call. We want you to come here. It's going to be the next best thing in arm wrestling. This is it. And then 12, 24 months later, oh hey, we got no money. Cool.
I think Robert's got the contacts or a plan or something. I think it's like if you and I are negotiating for you to buy my truck and we're talking about it. I don't know how close you are to buying my truck, but you're telling me what you need. We're going. I think we're at that stage.
Okay.
But I have no more inside information than anybody else. This is just stuff I pick up when we ride together in a taxi, or I see him in the lobby or something.
Yeah, but that, in my opinion, that holds a lot more weight because, you like you said, you're 9th or 10th league. Someone like Jamie Sheldon. What's going on, Jamie? Also, you've been at all these things. You've heard the talk, and to say that Robert is saying something different, which is making you more excited and more belief, to me, that holds more weight than most.
What I like most about Robert's attitude and demeanor is he's trying to build a business and a product, and he's not so much trying to become famous himself. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. Boy, oh boy, does that piss me off more than most things. And I've seen it with just about every promotion I've worked for. You see the owner just suddenly they've inserted themselves a bit more, and they're in the commentary, or then now they're hosting, and you're watching the highlights. It's like, hang on, you're the owner. Like, okay. So shout out to Robert. Keep getting in there. Guys, we've got about 5 minutes left with the one and only, the world champ, Toddzilla. So if you've got any questions, get in there and we'll ask the champ. Like here from young Canadian puller here, Todd. Do you have any tips on how to recover from the West Side barbell training system?
If you need to recover from the West Side barbell system, you are not doing the West Side barbell system, because the rehab and the volume is built into it. So the West Side system is not just maxing out. There's a lot of volume on the West Side system. So if you need recovery, and to be honest, you probably need recovery from your table time. They tell me they can't train side pressure like I do because they're sore. You're getting sore from table time if you're pinning each other, right? The West Side barbell system will fix your soreness, and it will give you the recovery you need. So you're not doing it correctly if you need to recover from it. Fortunately, a whole series of videos on YouTube. It's called The Conjugate Method for Arm Wrestling. I can't remember whose channel it was. Good looking fella out of Ohio. Anyways, search that. Search The Conjugate Arm Wrestling. You'll be surprised at how much volume's in there.
There you go. There's nothing better than asking one of your idols about it, and he tells you you're doing it wrong.
Get that a lot. I can't train side pressure like you do. I go, then you're not training it like I do, because this is how you train this, and it's not just side pressure. This is just how you train to get stronger.
Man, that's hilarious. Bob wants to know, what's the heaviest you have ever been?
236 pounds dressed. So just a little over 115. No, look.
Okay, that's what, 236 dressed.
Yeah. So I was
107.
5 kilos.
Yeah,
when me and Devin pulled, I was 105 kilos.
Okay, there you go. He says, I don't use that system, but I have a recovery problem.
Oh, then you need a lot more volume. First, you need to have your partner stop pinning you in practice. And then you need hundreds of reps on your wrist, your elbows, and your shoulders. Specifically JM presses and elbows. That'll fix your recovery.
So why
barbell system, and you'll get strong and recover.
So why should people not pin each other at practice?
Because that's where all that soreness comes from. You're here, it's that eccentric motion that's making you sore. Practice between 10 and 12. You can still hook and go back and forth. You can beat hands, but it's that getting pinned in practice that's making everybody sore.
Wow. There it is. And probably we'll finish up on my last question, mate. When's the next match? When do we see you back on the table?
Well, I agreed to pull February in Austria. Okay, everything else is up in the air. So I don't have any more. I can't pull any more this year. So, but that's all. The East First West isn't to the point where they have like a 2026 calendar where they have events, dates, and all they got to do is fill in the card. It's a little. It's not quite there yet. It's getting better every year, but they can't put out like the Metallica tour where where the next 18 months.
Yeah. Okay. Well, because it's always exciting. They're like, yeah, we're gonna have 7, 8 events next year, which is magnificent.
I heard 10 next year.
10. See, that's one every 6 weeks. That's fantastic. But yeah, obviously someone at your caliber would be like, okay, give me the dates. Give me the month. Give me the month.
I'm going to sign up for 4, right? And I'm going to be in Europe, former Soviet Union, Asia, and then they're going to have 5 events in the United States, and I'll miss all of them.
There you go. Wow. I absolutely love it. And then lastly, before we wrap up, do you think that there's room for like an elite tournament? Because there's some people that love pulling tournaments. Super matches is where all the eyes are, and that's the popular thing at the moment. But do you think like a Zloty tour could come back? Because that was the thing before Top 8 and WAL and UAL and whatnot.
Promoters have a hard time packaging a tournament. I think. I don't know. What would be interesting would be tournaments that fed into the East. I'm not exactly sure how you get invited into an East First West event. They have tournaments before most of them, but I don't know if that's your entry in or not. But I'm trying to think of, UFC used to be a tournament.
Yes.
And I think even that was hard to follow, But you would probably have to do it like the strongman competition. World's Strongest Man is basically a tournament. They were able to package that to where you could follow it, but then again, they only had like 10 or 12 people in an event, and they could explain all of that, and they could do it, that way. So maybe you could do a tournament that way, but I think tournaments fell out of favor when they tried to make a entertainment event out of it, where they're trying to package it into a show for media, for mass market media, I think.
Yeah. Okay, there it is. You gotta love it. Ladies and gentlemen, can we all please thank the man, the smartest man in arm wrestling, the Irakli bully, as he's known at the moment. And yeah. Well, now that you're friends, he'll probably pull the friend card on you and say, "Oh, hey mate, I couldn't go again,
Every time I watch you and Levon practice, you're whipping his ass. Tell me how to do
that. You gotta love it, and the Drew sums it up the best. Toddzilla for the win, guys. Please thank him. He's an absolute superstar, and yeah, we just absolutely love him. The way we love Todd, go about it. Todd, mate, as always, thank you so much for joining the show.
Kids.